Last time on Virginia football, the building of a program.
Al Groh is out at UVA. The Virginia grad and two-time ACC Coach of the Year was fired today after 9 seasons and with 2 years left on his contract.
We're thinking about a number of candidates. When he got to Mike, we had the benefit of knowing he had been here. We saw him operate as an assistant coach. We saw him operate with kids. We knew how he would be with people in general. We all knew about his passion and his enthusiasm for the game, so that part of it was easy. The question had to be then, was he ready for the opportunity? And it was pretty easy to answer that question.
Please join me in welcoming UVA head football coach and a welcome back to Mike London.
I'm blessed and I'm honored to be back involved with a university that I have a familiar background with. I will make winning a priority, but also by doing it the right way, making sure that it's okay to embrace the academic qualifications and expectations here at the university.
The best replacement I always thought from day one was Mike London. So actually when that whole thing went down, I was ecstatic.
Literally, the feeling in the room was almost electric. And he got everybody so pumped up and ready to go that, everybody seemed like they wanted to play football right then and there.
Everybody just bought in and knew that we were just going to ride together.
The biggest thing that Coach London wanted to see is how our team moves.
We're pushing each other, we're working against each other, building bonds and friendships. So you get that nucleus built together, and then you work towards the season.
One of the most important questions that can be asked of a head coaching candidate for a sport, particularly like football, is who are the types of people, or who are the people specifically that you're considering to have as part of your staff?
Even in the interview process with Mike, we started the process of evaluating what type of people do you want to bring on board to help build what you're talking about. So it was a matter of trying to understand his philosophy, the type of person, and then what it would take to go get them.
We ask a lot of questions of candidates regarding staffing, how you put a staff together, the rationale for putting the staff together.
Mike was very good about that. He had a list prepared from day one. He knew the type of people he would want on his staff, and we were very happy to see that.
We made a commitment to Mike that in every regard we would provide him with the resources where he could be competitive to get the kinds of people without regard to their background and their experiences, etc., to come here to the University of Virginia to support him and to support our student athletes to develop this football program.
Getting the commitment from the administration to hire a staff that could cover all bases in terms of the teaching of the players, of providing leadership, of providing when I'm not around, standing in for those type of values and the things that I think they're important and very critical. I think the resources allocated, never had any problems with making sure that the guys were compensated. But the biggest thing I think that Charlottesville, the area in itself, offers to anybody after having lived here for 6 years is the quality of life. And I talked to those guys about the Q factor. The Q factor is the quality of life, about the area, the school system, the people. It's important to me that when you develop a relationship with the players, that you have an ability to sit down and go one-on-one with a player, that a coach is willing to listen, that's willing to give feedback and not quick to judge, but have a relationship with the player that the player then feels like he can talk to you about anything. In putting the staff together, you want to bring in people that that you've had a prior relationship with. 3 guys from my Richmond staff that had done great things with the players. Feel fairly confident that even the ones that that I had to bring in an interview, that in the end still made the right choice.
London was particularly close to Jim Reed, and a month after he took the job at UVA, London named the 37-year coaching veteran the Cavaliers' associate head coach and defensive coordinator.
I chose Jim Reed because he is the ultimate energy guy. He is fire, passionate, incredible teacher and motivator. I'm sure that he'll get our defense on track. The players are going to love him because he gives their all.
I met Mike London when I became the head football coach at the University of Richmond. It was love at first sight. He's, just gives you such a great first impression. And the great thing about Coach London is that the first impression is just enhanced as you get around him and you get to know him better. When Coach London called, now you have an opportunity to work for a man that you hold in high esteem, in the top 2% of people that you know. And then you have an opportunity to work at the University of Virginia, which the goals here correlate almost exactly to the goals that I would have for my son if I was sending him off to school. If you take a look at kind of where I've been, you always like to try to bring a program back, and especially at a place here like Virginia. So I'm fired up to be here, and it wasn't a very hard decision.
After 35 years coaching at the college level, Reid joined the Miami Dolphins as their outside linebackers coach.
When you have an opportunity to be in pro football in a Bill Parcells run organization, if you say no to that, then somebody would most likely want to bring you to the doctor's office and find out, why. But you had to take that opportunity to be in pro football, which is really the terminal degree of your profession, and then be with Coach Parcells, Coach Sperano, and Paul Pasqualoni, who I had worked for at Syracuse. And then you have an opportunity to coach Joey Porter and Jason Taylor. And I told those guys, I said, I'm just so happy here to be in the same room with you guys. If I died tomorrow, don't feel sorry for me. This is just terrific.
Here we go. Let's go. Hey, this is for all of it.
It was the combination of London and Virginia that pulled Reid out of South Florida.
Here we go. Let's go. Stack two, stack two, stack two.
It was a perfect combination of the right man in the right institution. And who am I? I'm nobody special, but when you put those two together in my life, for what I was looking for, what I hold dear to me, not a tough decision.
We're not changing any responsibilities. We're gonna have a rat. We're gonna have a rat from the time the ball is snapped to the final whistle. We're gonna have a guy in the post from the time the ball is snapped to the time of the whistle. We're not passing anything off. We're playing hard and aggressive man-to-man. We got that, okay? Now, we're playing aggressive, and let me tell you this, Connors. Today, we're gonna let our hair down a little bit, okay? We're gonna press. Coach West will get up there, get right in their face, have some guts, get up there, smack them around a little bit, jam, 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 make them better, make us better. And we're gonna be playing some of this too. So learn to play it. Know what happens when you get beat. Don't play it soft, don't play it careful, all right?
We want to attack. And we would like the game of football is an aggressive game. Everybody says that it is. But it's also a thinking man's game now. So that the type of personnel that you want are fast guys that can think on their feet and go hard every snap, that they understand the situation if it's 1st and 10, 3rd and 3, that they know the personnel group that the offense is coming in with, so that they know what the adjustments are. And you don't want a whole lot of adjustments so guys can hitch their belts, button their chin strap, and play a hard, fast, vicious type of football.
Cornerback Razai Dowling will be a key component for the revamped Cavalier defense. Dowling earned all ACC honors despite having an inconsistent year in 2009 by his lofty standards. He considered declaring for the NFL draft, but decided to return to Virginia for some unfinished business.
He could have gone in the draft. He decided to stay, to finish his degree, and to leave the program feeling good. I think he fits the definition of what Coach London is looking for. He's looking for men that care about education and getting a degree and then moving forward.
I'd be the first one out of my whole family to graduate from college. And that's, in my eyes, that's truly a blessing.
He is somebody that needs to give us a significant impact in leadership as well as on the field, and he will do that in both areas, and he will do it greatly.
We're expecting, leadership from Razai, playmaking ability from Razai, and just the fact that I think he's just an overall just good person. He got the biggest portion of our votes by our players to be a captain, and so that speaks volumes also about the players. We feel pretty good about this guy being a captain. I think Rosai has, well, we all know that he has NFL skills and he'll have NFL opportunities. And I think with him, you know, he liked school. He liked being here on grounds. He liked his teammates. He liked the experience of playing college football. He didn't want the college football experience to end the way, you know, the way it ended, but he wants to, you know, write one more chapter in his college experience by going out with some of the players that he came in with.
What we're expecting from him here at Virginia is for him to do what he's done marvelously before, which is lead this group on the field, lead them in the classroom, and be a great player for us. And then when that happens, all the other pieces will fall into place.
The search for Virginia's offensive coordinator would take some time. During the course of London's review of candidates, the name Bill Lazor would often come up in conversation. Lazor was the quarterback's coach for the Seattle Seahawks and was interested in making a return to college football.
There are three coaches who I've worked with in the past who've also worked with Coach London. And it just so happened that in conversation with one of them, and we weren't even talking about the University of Virginia at the time, the University of Virginia came up, and he mentioned to me that he thought I should speak with Coach London, and he really gave me a very high recommendation for Coach London as a person first, and also as a coach. And I remember that conversation. That kind of first sparked my interest, and a couple phone calls from him and from myself to Coach London kind of got the ball rolling.
By the time Lazor arrived in Charlottesville for his official interview, London was already high on the Pennsylvania native. Lazor had spent 7 seasons in the NFL with the Falcons, Redskins, and Seahawks, and his recommendations definitely caught London's attention.
When I met Coach Lazor face-to-face, I already had preliminary phone conversations with, like Mike Holmgren had called, you know, and was talking about Bill, and you know, and it was kind of like, you know, still kind of like a young coach, I would say, in this profession. When Mike Holmgren calls, it's like E.F. Hutton, you know, you started listening to what he has to say. And then not too shortly after that conversation, you know, Joe Gibbs called on his behalf. And, you know, so I think just the overall, the amount of people that said, you know, this guy is a good guy, good coach, good teacher. Bill Musgrave is a good friend of mine, you know, with the Atlanta Falcons. Bill knew him also, and people could attest to you know, his abilities. And then when I brought him in, and we had to talk, the chance to talk face to face about philosophy, about, you know, we talked about, you know, being able to control the ball, protect the quarterback, and also throw the ball deep. You know, family man, very committed to, you know, character and integrity. I mean, those are things that, you know, that are important to me, and so Bill and I hit it off well.
I've always had a great picture in my mind of what UVA football should be, or what it had been. Growing up in Pennsylvania, I knew about University of Virginia. Being 40 years in Northern Virginia at the Washington Redskins was a lot closer to it at that point, and got to see it. I've had a couple friends who worked here as coaches. So I had this great picture in my mind of what should happen here with this football program, and was really intrigued by that. So I just felt like it was a great opportunity to come and make a big impact as an offensive coordinator on this program.
Rebuilding an offense that struggled significantly over the past 2 years will be difficult, but London and Lazor's vision of the offense will be familiar to longtime Cavalier fans.
The first play is power, and I expect it's going to score. That's how I want you to approach this thing today. Okay, it's about attitude, and it's about developing what kind of team are we going to be.
The things that are important to us as an offensive staff are to be physical, especially when we run the ball, but also when we throw it, and also to play fast and use the passing game usually to create explosive plays. And in football today, you have to do both, I think. You have to be a physical running team, and you have to be an explosive team, and usually that comes from the passing game. So we're going to work very hard to be balanced and to be able to do both. I think we have the players here to do that, and I think it's going to show.
Before the offense would be ready to debut on the field, Lazor and the offensive coaching staff had to create a playbook and terminology, teach it to themselves, and then teach it to the players. A difficult task when you consider the fact that there were only 45 days between Lazor's hiring and the start of spring practice.
We think we've got a huge task ahead of us here to get this offense where we want it to be. We knew that when we came. We don't dwell on what's happened here in the past, but just looking at the future and how we're going to go forward. The things that are important is that you're persistent, that you have a single focus, and you just keep moving in that direction. Some days you look ahead and you say, man, we have a lot to do. The players have a lot to learn. But when you take a week's worth of practice or 2 weeks worth of practice and you look back and you see how far you've come, you feel like this is happening just like we want it to happen.
Every once in a while, deep on the backside, you have an opportunity to take it deep if there's no one there. So if you're deep on the backside, be alert for that. We want to everyone work hard. Here's the key. Slide it up, Coach, so we can see the bottom. A very important point that gets missed sometimes by the skilled players. Once you start moving, keep going fast. Because when the defense sees it happens, they're going to go fast. And we've seen many times now a receiver starts coming back to the ball, the quarterback sees him and throws to him, and the receiver slows up to catch the ball, and here comes someone that goes right past him to the ball. So once you start going, set your angle and keep playing fast. Offensive line, when we do this, the important point for you is you can't be more than 3 yards downfield. You have to be very decisive that the quarterback has not yet decided to run, and stay legal. Okay, do not cross the line of scrimmage until you're 100% sure that he is running.
The best thing that Bill does when he's coaching and teaching in front of the team is that he can take something that, say you made an error in running a route. Instead of going directly at the individual's lack of ability to run the route or to comprehend what it is, I think Bill takes the approach that although you didn't run the route, I got to do a better job coaching the route so you know what I mean by running the route, and then everyone else that's involved in the play, you got to do a better job of doing your part of it too, so the play doesn't break down. And so rather than guys being on the defense about, this or that, I think what he does a good job of is just putting into simple terms that, listen, everybody's got to do better on this play to make the whole play work.
And the X's will have those today, so it's not that hard.
On the eve of spring practice, it was clear there were several keys for 2010 to be a successful season for the Cavaliers. As always, it starts at the quarterback position.
I want to see the best quarterback, earn the job and take it and run with it. So whether it's Mark or anybody else, so it's a wide open approach. But he's been a guy that's been, taking snaps. We'll see what happens. But all those quarterbacks know that you're going to be evaluated daily and see how you perform.
One of the hardest things about being the quarterback is being able to handle a large amount of information and do it quickly, and then at the same time have your body react as if it's easy. And those are what the great ones can do. They can take in the information they get from the sideline, they can take in any information they receive in the huddle, they can communicate it quickly and easily and clearly to their teammates. And as they go to the line of scrimmage, they've got a whole lot of information they got to take in from the defense and put it in perspective of what we're about to do on offense. And at the snap of the ball, everything can change. They've got to take that in, and the whole time they've got to play fast and smooth and easy. The most important thing for a quarterback to be able to do is handle that information and then still be a productive thrower. When you look at it right now, in the world of football, the best quarterbacks in the world are the guys in the National Football League who are veterans, who are in their 30s, who've been tested by time, who've had success and defeat. And those are the guys year in and year out who take their teams to the playoffs and do well. Same thing in college football. As guys get older in their career, they have a chance, even though earlier in their career, maybe their physical abilities let them be successful. As they get older in their careers and experienced, battle-tested, they have a chance really to take their game to a new level. And the reason is that a lot of the wisdom and knowledge of playing just comes with experience.
Virginia would also need to develop an effective running game. And that, of course, starts with physical play from both the running backs and the offensive line.
The game is a game that's a very physical game. There are some systems that want to spread you out and be more finesse, but I think one of the things in running the football, it establishes a certain level of toughness and physicalness. This program, when I was associated with it, has been known for having really, really good offensive linemen, good running backs, good tight ends. If we play to our strengths and bringing back a a ground control game and get those running backs going again.
After years of the 3-4 defense at Virginia, London made the decision to bring back the 4-3 with an emphasis on speed.
The 3-4 defense, scheme-wise, technique-wise, you line up shoulder pad to shoulder pad, and then basically it's, I've got to beat you. Now, if you go this way, I've got to beat you going that way. If you come this way, again, from a shoulder pad to shoulder pad alignment, then now I've got to beat you that way. So really what we call it is 1-2 gap defense. And I've got to be able to be better than you so I can make a play on this side or that side, because obviously I don't know which way it's going. And that's the way all the way down the front. There's not a lot of Chris Longs around. Now when you get one, you know, now you've got yourself a heck of a player, but it's not as easy. And then the linebackers, 4 yards, they have to do the same thing. At 4 yards, they get these big giant guards coming at them, and they have to hit them with their hands and be able to go here or here, depending upon where the ball is.
And I left here, had a chance to go to Richmond and then be involved with the 4-3, and you can do some things with, get more speed on the field. You can run better.
What we're doing now is we play edges. The nose man is lined up on the edge. And on the snap of the football, he's running into the shoulder. And now there's a technique where we can either go down the line of scrimmage and behind him, or we have to stand him up, but we're on the edge. All right, now, there's some advantages to that, but there's also some disadvantages to that. The linebackers now don't have to be as big and as bulky, because now they don't take on guards all the time. They come off the edges of the guards or the edges of the nose man, depending upon the reads. Much harder to read and to play, but there's an advantage. You don't have to be 6'3", 245 pounds now to play in our defense.
Me, it was, and to a lot of players that we talked to and a lot of players that you recruit, you know, everyone's interested in getting on the edge and being able to do, sack quarterback or play man-to-man. So I think you'll see some different things. Obviously, schematically, you'll see the difference between the 3-4 and the 4-3, but you'll see more guys pressing the receivers, doing things with zone blitzes, having a 4-man rush, trying to get after the quarterback. Just different things that I think that the 4-3 gives you a chance to do. From the mental standpoint, they feel good about it. Cam Johnson, who was standing up, has now put his hand down on the ground. Nick Jenkins was 290 pounds and probably a little sluggish. Relishes the fact that he can get down to about 275 and be more quick than trying to have just brute strength.
There's more of those type of athletes out there to fit our scheme. We're going in the right direction, in the right seams, in the right gaps, and in the right coverage. When it's done right, it's like artwork.
Next on Virginia football, the building of a program, the start of spring practice.
It's exciting to be out here after doing all the meet and greet events and all that. So it's good now that we do the football part of it. So we're ready to go.
Stretch, let's go, here we go, stretch. Go, here we go, Will. Let's go, here we go.
Anthony Poindexter stays in Charlottesville.
They have to bring the energy and the passion that you need to play this game on a day-to-day basis.
Come on, that's you. That's it, good kick, good kick. Good, right there, good spacing. Read the hat, good.
And will Mark Verica be the starting quarterback?
You know, I haven't been the most vocal guy in the past, and that's something that I've tried to take to a new level this year.